This video is going to be about how I ended up on medication for schizoaffective disorder. It all started around September or August. I had this cross on my wall with Jesus on it, and I had this on the other side of the wall. I had a Sri Yantra. It was like this symbol, and it has like all these colors on it. And I started smoking sage mixed with Delta 8 because I miss smoking like flower, right? And I smoked that for a couple days, and I would say my seance to the cross. Um, this one particular day, on the cross, the Jesus started having horns on. I would see horns on Jesus. I see his legs that were nailed to the cross move, and I thought that was odd, but I still kept saying my seance to the cross. And the next day, there was a body in the lake, right behind my apartment, and that really scared me. My dad went out to talk to the police, and I was really scared because I thought my neighbor killed him. And I talked to my dad. I was like, "Don't go down there. What are you doing down there? He could see you." Basically, the murderer could see my dad talking to the police, and I was a target now. And so he went upstairs, and I was taking a shower, and I was hearing these voices in my head talking about how they were going to protect me. And this one guy yelled out, and I guess he was yelling at the bad voices, I'm 4'11", and I'll kick your ass. And I thought that was funny. But anyways, I went to the shower, and I would collapse to the floor like I was having a heart attack. And I heard the neighbor's voice saying, I would never hurt you. I would never hurt you. I love you, man. And basically, I felt like the good voices got to him to protect me. And so he's on my side now, basically not going to hurt me. But I still slept by the door in the living room. So if somebody did intrude my house, I would protect my parents, and they wouldn't have my parents. So I would lay in the living room till like 2 a.m. to fall asleep. And what happened the next day was the strangest thing ever. I started hearing a lot more voices, but in the music particularly, I could hear the music being played, and I could mix it with other music. So if I was listening to Blind Fury, I could mix it with Korn. And so he'd be singing the song, and then Korn would come in and mix it up, right? I would listen to Twist by Korn a lot, and I could hear Blind Fury's music, and I hear mixed with it, and it sounded really cool. And I then started to lose it because I felt like I had the superpower. But it all started when I was staring at the Sri Yantra, and I fell back on my bed, and I felt like I was on a trip. I started flapping my wings like if I was a bird. And then I saw a visual of this truck carrying ammunition. And I figured this truck with ammunition was trying to destroy the world. And I was looking through an aircraft, like an aircraft carrier. And I was saying, chirp, chirp, as in destroy that aircraft, not destroy that truck carrying the missiles. And then I started coming back to my senses until I heard his voice in my head saying, what the heck is this? And then another voice said, shut up and enjoy the show. And then I felt like I was some type of big part of this movie that we're in. like I was like the star of the show or something, and then I wanted to end it, right, because this was getting weird. And then I said, I did the Looney Tunes, the Looney Tunes with beep a deep a deep. That's all, folks. I played that in my head, thinking that it was going to end it, but it kept going. Then I went to my mother's bathroom, and she was there, and then I held her, like was like I was like loving on her, like hugging her and stuff, and she was hugging on me back. And I come to some conclusion that I created my father. Me and my mom created my father. Had this, when she was laying on the sofa, and I saw this creature coming out of her leg, like it was like this gorilla thing holding on, and my mom was crying, and I figured that was my dad. I know it sounds really weird, but it was real to me. And the next day, I I hopped on the PlayStation 5 to play 2K20, 21 or something. And I started talking to this guy on there, and I felt like I was talking like this. I was like, "What's up, man? We're gonna take care of you, man. You're after this game, you're gonna be worth $1 million." Basically, thinking that I was gonna be this next star of the world. Like I thought I was gonna go to be football games and everybody's gonna know me, baseball games and everybody's gonna know me, and basically saying that they found Jesus. And the reason why I say that was when I was mixing with the music, somebody yelled out Jesus, another person yelled out God. To me, I felt like, and what happened next was something I would never expect to do. The next day, my dad was on the phone call and talking to his boss, and she hasn't paid my dad in weeks, and I was having all these visuals that I was the king of the world and stuff, and I was seeing how badly my dad was being treated. He wasn't getting paid for his work. So I went on the phone call, and it was on a live stream, not live stream, but like FaceTime. And I was like, "Pay my dad what you owe her. You owe him, you bitch. Pay the man." And she replied, "I can't believe this is happening," because I was going crazy. Um, I and reason why I'll get to that later. I was watching Rocky Balboa, the first one, and I feel like I was directing the film for some reason. I was playing a part of the film. I would focus on the lady, and all the tension would be on the lady, Rocky's girlfriend, and basically made the movie really good. Um, I watched one of Bob Ross's painting videos, and it wasn't Bob Ross painting, but another guy, and I would focus on the painting, one part of the painting, and then I would see myself on a jet ski on that painting, having the time of my life. Um, that was really weird, but I was kind of happy because I felt like, oh wow, this is cool. But another part of me is like, okay, this is scary because this isn't right. But my parents take me to the hospital, and the first hospital we went to, nobody. It was like a wait, like we were waiting for hours. But on the way to the hospital, I saw this orb thing, like this circle orb, like it would shoot out, like it was like a circle and within a circle within a circle. And I looked at that on the way to the hospital, and it yelled out at me. It says, "You're the best God in the whole wide world." And I would hear my ex talking. I would hear my friend Michael's talking. He's not really my friend. He's an evil bastard. But anyways, um, I would hear them talking. Heard Michael say to me, "You're so lucky." But it gets even weirder. At the hospital, I was expecting Korn to show up in a limousine to pick me up, so I was all fine. I feel like this is all part of the show. Korn's gonna pick me up in a limousine. I'm gonna go hang out with Korn, Jonathan Davis, and we're gonna have a good ass time. But that never happened. I heard Simon Cowell. I heard Ozzy Osbourne talk to me. Simon Cowell, like, Travis, how would you like to be on Americans Got Talent? I was like, screw that. I'm gonna hang out with Korn. um, I heard Ozzy Osbourne talk to me, and it was like really faint. And he said my name, and I was basically promising that he was gonna be with Sharon forever. And it gets weirder. At the hospital, this guy was standing next to me, one of the people who worked there, saying it's gonna be all right. You're gonna be well taken care of. I thought I was gonna get, like buffet of filet mignon, some chicks. That never happened. So we stopped waiting when we went to this another hospital. And at the hospital, we waited, but they let us in finally. And in that hospital, heard voices saying that something wrong with his brain. And I heard another voice saying that you're going to get cancer. You're going to get cancer. Die from cancer. And I was laying in the hospital bed, and I was doing this with my fingers, like trying to shoot off the bad energy. And I would say the seance into my cup, basically to direct the evil spirits into the cup. And I went into the bathroom to get changed, and I came out of the bathroom wearing this blue suit, and the nurses was going to be like, "Oh, he's going to like that," basically saying that, "Oh, I'm gonna be, treated by the nurses like extra good." But that never happened. Um, I was laying in on the bed for like a day, and at the middle of the night, I had a feeling that the world was ending. This show was going to end. So I ran out of the door, out of the hospital, and I looked at the full moon, and I said my seance. And the moon had these triangles with little circles in the middle of them. My fingers are dirty. And I went back in, and I sat next to this couple, right? They were in this another room with the glass, and I looked at the dude, and I said my seance. And I went back into the bedroom. My dad, there's other things that happened, like, so I was hearing voices like, "I still got your third eye." That freaked me out. I didn't know what that meant. I heard my brother was talking about, "Hey, get off my brother, leave my brother alone." Basically, this war was going on in my head. That was like this spiritual warfare. And I went home, and I saw, as we were driving home, I saw this guy with lights coming out of his eyes, white light coming out of his eyes, like glowing. And I had a feeling that this world was ending, or not ending, but at least glitching. The film was glitching. I went into the car. I was in the car, but I did this with my fingers. I looked in my fingers, and I saw this beetle come out of my hand, and it was eating like this bad spiritual energy, I guess. I'm still not sure. But it was real. I looked real, and it happened multiple times. So we went home, and I guess the next day the ambulance showed up, and was taking me to an actual mental hospital, a mental psych ward. And in that psych ward, um, I got scared. At first, before going into psych ward, I didn't know this was a psych ward. I was hearing these voices in my head saying that I sent them to hell or something sent them to hell, and they're after me. And I saw these weird images in my head, and I went into the psych ward. Before I went to psych ward, I went to the bathroom. I started punching the walls, and I thought there was another creator that was creating this world differently, not as beautiful as this world. And basically, that I punched the wall because I felt like that was one of the reasons. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I got into the psych ward, and my mom was there, and I still thought I was fine. And then I looked over. The people in their suits were this guy was jump roping, like it was on auto, like he was glitching. He was jump roping, but he was glitching, and I was like, that's weird. And I looked over, and my mom was gone. And then I looked around, like, oh, I'm gonna be here. So then I got up and I tried to bolt out the door, open it up. Like I thought the bad spirits won, and now I'm trapped. I look over into the door glass, and I saw that person I said the seance to at the hospital looking at through the glass, like out the door, the glass, and him on the other side, and he was like grinning like this, and I was like, oh shit. I tried to talk to the lady. I was like, get me out of here, and she's like, I can't do that. I look over to my right, and there's this dude standing shoulder to shoulder to me, looking at me like this. And I punched him, thinking that he was evil, and somehow it fixed the glitch or something. I don't know. I ended up getting haymakers thrown at me. I guess one connected. I got a black eye. This 6'4" black guy, 300 plus pounds, wrestled to me to the ground. He stuck my finger. I stuck my finger in his eye. He stuck his finger in my eye, and I was laying on the ground with my knee against my chest, and I yelled out, "Saturn, help me!" And the black guy couldn't sit on my chest. He was sitting on my kneecap, and he picks me up and throws me into this room that it was all bricked and stuff. No bathroom, no sink, no toilet, no bed, just the floor and stuff. I really thought that I was fucked. They ended up coming in and saying you're bad and this and that, and saying that I can't get a shower unless I pay $7,000. They ended up giving me food and a juice box, and I ate that and I drank that, and then I had nowhere to use the restroom, so I shat into the juice box. Used my fingers to take the shit out and put it into the juice box. I pissed in the not the ashtray, but the food tray, and I put a blanket over my head and waited. They came in and they saw the shit and they saw the piss, and I was underneath the blanket thinking that this smell is gonna ward off the bad spirits. They ended up leaving, and I ended up trying to escape. The 6-foot black man was standing in the doorway, and I thought I had this one chance to get out. So I used my football moves, right? And just to shuffle block him because he's got his hands on me. I did a real quick shuffle block and went around him. And I went into this other room of the mental psych ward, and it had this window. I started donkey kicking the shit out of this window, and the black dude was there just watching. I cracked it, and I was like, "This ain't gonna break," and I gave up at that point. The doors were locked, the windows were unbreakable, and they finally gave me this bed for the cell, or wherever it was, like the bad area. It was meant this psych ward hold, and I thought that was nice. I was sitting on the damn tile floor. I finally got this bed. I slept on that tile all night. Got this bed. Well, that's comfy. And next thing you know, they gave me my own room. And um, that dude I punched in the face, he was looking through me in the room I was locked in. He's looking through it, and I was like, dude, I'm sorry, bro. Can you give me a glass of water? I'm thirsty. And he looked at me and he just grinned like this, like ha ha ha. And I was like, oh shit. But anyways, he got me my room. I got a shower. That was nice. Um, I well, there's TV. I went out to watch TV with everybody who were, not mentally stable. Um, got my medicine, and that really seemed to sedate me. Um, so that was nice, having not being in that damn room all day. And anyways, that's how I ended up on schizophrenia medicine. Um, Not the glitches didn't appear anymore. Everything seemed the glitches didn't appear anymore, and I went home. I finally went home, and the voices seemed to be stabilized. They weren't loud anymore. They weren't like they were actually talking to me. Um, I felt like $1,000,000 because I was at home now, and this medicine, it does what it's supposed to, but there's side effects to that medicine. But at the end of the day, I'm on the rest of my life, and well, hopefully not the rest of my life. Hopefully I can get off of it, but see if I'm missing any parts. You know, I don't think so. After I went home, everything just seemed to stabilize, and yeah. Uh, I thank you for listening. It's been a long video, but hope you can comment, subscribe, like the video, and yeah, thank you.